What if the greatest force controlling your life isn't other people, but the constant noise inside your own mind? Think about it. How many battles have you fought that never needed to happen? How many sleepless nights were created by conversations that existed only? How much energy have you wasted trying to explain yourself, judge others, react to every opinion, or prove that you were right? Here's the uncomfortable truth. The person who reacts to everything is rarely the one in control. Real power is quieter than most people realize. It begins the moment you stop speaking just to be heard, and stop allowing every thought to become your reality. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Stoic Hypnosis channel. In this video, you'll discover why silence is not weakness, but discipline, why learning to observe instead of react can completely transform your life, and why the greatest version of yourself has been waiting on the other side of a quieter mind. Stay until the very end, because once you understand the true power of stillness, you'll never waste your energy the same way again. Now, let's get started. Part 1. The noisiest place you'll ever live is your own mind. Most people spend their entire lives trying to control the world around them. They try to change other people, correct every misunderstanding, win every argument, respond to every opinion, defend every decision. Yet somehow, the more they fight for control, the less peace they seem to have. Why? Because the greatest battle has never been outside of you. It has always been within. The human mind is a remarkable servant, but a dangerous master. Left unchecked, it comments on everything. It compares. It criticizes. It predicts failure before you've even begun. It replays conversations that ended years ago. It invents problems that may never exist. And slowly, without realizing it, you become exhausted by thoughts instead of reality. I learned this lesson the hard way. There was a time when every criticism felt personal. Every disagreement demanded a response. Every silence from someone else became a story in my mind. I believed I was protecting myself. In truth, I was feeding the very chaos I wanted to escape. Then one day, an older man shared something I'll never forget. He said, "Your life changes the day you stop believing every thought that enters your mind." At first I didn't understand. How could I ignore my own thoughts? But with time, I realized he wasn't asking me to suppress them. He was teaching me to observe them, to notice them without obeying them, to let them pass without giving them control. That is where stillness begins. Not when the world becomes quieter, but when your mind no longer reacts to every passing emotion. Real strength is not measured by how loudly you speak or how quickly you defend yourself. It is measured by how much peace you can preserve when everything around you invites you to lose it. The moment you stop treating every thought as an emergency, you create space for wisdom to speak. And wisdom has always preferred silence over noise. Part 2. Not every thought deserves a response, and not every battle deserves your energy. One of the greatest mistakes we make is believing that every thought deserves our attention. It doesn't. Just because a thought enters your mind doesn't mean it is true. Just because an emotion feels powerful doesn't mean it should guide your next decision, and just because someone invites you into a conflict doesn't mean you have to accept the invitation. Most people spend their days reacting. They react to criticism. They react to bad news. They react to social media. They react to the opinions of strangers who will never shape their future. By the end of the day, they feel drained. Not because life demanded so much from them, but because they gave their energy to everything. When you react to every voice around you, your mind becomes like a lake caught in a storm. The surface is constantly disturbed, nothing is clear, nothing can be seen as it truly is. But when the wind settles, the water becomes still, and only then can it reflect the sky. Your mind works the same way. Clarity is not created by thinking more. It is created by disturbing your thoughts less. I once believed that staying silent meant I was losing. If someone misunderstood me, I wanted to explain. If someone insulted me, I wanted to answer. If someone doubted me, I wanted to prove them wrong. But every reaction came with a hidden cost. A little more peace disappeared. A little more attention was stolen. A little more time was wasted on people and problems that never deserved it. Eventually, I discovered something that changed my life. Silence is not the absence of strength. It is the discipline to choose where your strength belongs. The strongest people are not those who answer every criticism. They are the ones who know which voices are too small to deserve a place in their mind. Imagine how different your life would feel if you stopped asking, "How do I respond to this?" and started asking, "Does this deserve my peace?" That single question has the power to change the way you work, the way you love, the way you lead, and the way you live, because every unnecessary reaction is a quiet theft of your energy, and energy, once wasted, can never be reclaimed. So guard it carefully. Not everyone deserves your explanation. Not every opinion deserves your attention. And not every storm deserves to become your storm. Sometimes the wisest thing you can do is nothing at all. Before we continue, if these words are helping you find a little more peace in a world that never stops making noise, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. This isn't just a channel about Stoicism. It's a place for people who want to master their emotions, strengthen their minds, and build a life that isn't controlled by every opinion, every setback, or every passing thought. If you're ready to become calmer, wiser, and mentally stronger with each video, subscribe now and continue this journey with us. Now stay with me, because the next lesson reveals why the most powerful people are often the quietest, and why true focus begins the moment you stop trying to control everything outside of you. Part 3. The strongest person is the one who can master himself. We often mistake control for power. We think powerful people are those who influence everyone around them, who always have the final word, who can win every debate, who never let anyone disrespect them. But life has a way of exposing a deeper truth. If your mood changes because of another person's opinion, who is really in control? If one harsh comment can steal your peace, who is holding the power? If your happiness depends on circumstances constantly going your way, is that freedom? Or is it another form of dependence? For years, I believed strength meant being able to handle everything around me. Then I realized something I wish I had understood much earlier. The greatest victory is not over another person. It is over the impulse within yourself, the impulse to interrupt, the impulse to defend, the impulse to judge before understanding, the impulse to react before thinking. Those invisible battles shape your life far more than the visible ones ever will. Anyone can shout. Anyone can lose their temper. Anyone can say words they regret. That requires no discipline at all, but remaining calm while your pride is being challenged, remaining silent when your ego demands attention, remaining focused while the world tries to distract you. That is a different kind of strength, and very few people ever develop it. I once met a man whose presence filled every room he entered, not because he spoke louder than everyone else. In fact, he usually spoke the least. He listened carefully. He paused before answering. He never rushed to defend himself. And strangely enough, people respected him without him ever asking for it. It took me years to understand why. He wasn't trying to control the room. He had already learned to control himself. That quiet confidence changed the atmosphere around him, because people instinctively trust those who are not controlled by every emotion. Your composure speaks long before your words ever do. Your patience reveals more character than your arguments ever will. Your silence often carries more authority than endless explanations. So the next time life invites you into another unnecessary battle, pause. Take one slow breath. Ask yourself, am I about to respond from wisdom or from wounded pride? That single moment of awareness may seem small, but it is often the exact moment that separates a peaceful life from a restless one, because every time you choose mastery over impulse, you become a little stronger than you were yesterday. And over time, those quiet victories become the foundation of an unshakable life. Part 4, Silence, is where your real power is built. There is a kind of silence that frightens most people, not because it is empty, but because it leaves them alone with themselves. The moment the phone is put away, the conversations stop, the distractions disappear. Many people become uncomfortable, not with the world, but with their own thoughts. That is why so many never experience real peace. They keep filling every quiet moment with noise, music, notifications, endless scrolling, constant conversations. Not because they enjoy the noise, but because silence forces them to face the questions they have been avoiding for years. Who am I when no one is watching? What am I really chasing? Why do I need so much approval from people who barely know me? Those questions are uncomfortable, but they are also necessary, because every meaningful transformation begins with radical honesty. Silence does something that noise never can. It removes your excuses. It strips away the identities you've built to impress others. And it introduces you to the person you've been becoming all along. I used to believe that growth happened through doing more, working harder, speaking louder, pushing myself beyond every limit. But the older I became, the more I realized that some of life's greatest lessons arrive when you stop forcing everything, when you simply sit, observe, and listen, not to the opinions around you, but to the quiet wisdom within you. That inner voice has always been there. It simply couldn't be heard over the chaos. The strongest decisions I have ever made were not made in moments of panic. They were made in moments of stillness, after the anger had settled, after the fear had passed, after my ego had finally stopped demanding to be heard. Because clarity is born in calmness, not in emotional storms. Think about the ocean. When the surface is violently disturbed, you cannot see beneath it. But when the water becomes still, everything hidden begins to appear. Part 5. Everything changes the moment. You protect your inner peace. There comes a day when you finally grow tired, not tired of life, but tired of wasting your life, tired of explaining yourself to people who have already decided not to understand, tired of carrying arguments long after they have ended, tired of letting every opinion disturb your peace, and something extraordinary begins to happen. You stop chasing the need to be noticed. You stop competing in battles that lead nowhere. You stop measuring your worth by the applause of strangers. For the first time in years, your energy begins returning to the place it always belonged, your own life. That is the quiet miracle of stillness. It doesn't change the world around you overnight. It changes the way you meet the world. The problems don't suddenly disappear. Difficult people don't magically become kind. Unexpected hardships don't stop arriving. But something inside you becomes different. You no longer panic every time life becomes uncertain. You no longer feel the need to control every outcome. You no longer mistake movement for progress, because you've discovered something that many people spend their entire lives searching for. Peace is not found at the end of perfect circumstances. Peace is found in the discipline of a steady mind. And once you discover that, no one can easily take it from you. Think about the tallest tree in a storm. It doesn't survive because it fights the wind. It survives because its roots reach deeper than the storm can touch. Your mind must become like those roots. The louder the world becomes, the deeper your awareness must grow. The more chaos surrounds you, the more carefully you must protect your attention, because attention is the currency of your life. Whatever repeatedly captures it gradually shapes you. If you constantly feed your mind with anger, you become restless. If you feed it with comparison, you become dissatisfied. If you feed it with fear, you begin to live as though danger is everywhere. But if you protect it with silence, reflection, purpose, and deliberate focus, your entire life begins to change from the inside out. Never forget this. The strongest people are rarely the busiest. They are rarely the loudest. They are rarely the ones trying to convince everyone else that they matter. They simply know where their energy belongs. And because they guard it wisely, their presence carries a quiet strength that words alone could never create. So speak less, judge less, react less, observe more, reflect more, focus more. Because every moment you choose stillness over impulse, you reclaim another piece of yourself. And one day, you'll realize that the greatest achievement of your life was never becoming someone the world admired. It was becoming someone who could sit alone in complete silence and feel completely at peace. That is real freedom. And that is where your true power begins. Conclusion. One day, you'll discover that the greatest victories in life were never the ones the world applauded. They were the quiet moments when you chose patience over anger, wisdom over impulse, and inner peace over the need to be right. That is where real strength is born. Not in the noise of constant reactions, but in the stillness of a disciplined mind. Because when you finally learn to master yourself, life no longer controls you. You begin to control the way you experience life. The deepest lesson is this: you cannot always control what happens around you, but you can always train the person who responds to it. And that one decision has the power to transform every area of your life. Starting today, try one simple practice. Before responding to a difficult conversation, before judging someone, before allowing an emotion to take over, pause, take one slow breath. Ask yourself, will this reaction bring me closer to peace or further away from it? That small moment of awareness may seem insignificant, but repeated every day, it becomes a habit. That habit becomes your character, and your character ultimately becomes your destiny. If this message brought you clarity, Subscribe to the channel and join thousands of people committed to building a calmer mind, stronger character, and a more meaningful life. Your support inspires us to continue creating thoughtful videos that help people grow through timeless wisdom and practical life lessons. Until we meet again, protect your peace, guard your attention, master your mind, because the quietest mind often carries the greatest strength. Thank you for taking the time to watch until the end of the video. See you in the next videos.